Welcome to Big Bun Anime Club. I am going to discuss the Apthecary Diaries. Now, I did not read the manga yet. I do want to, but I haven't started reading it yet. But I did watch the anime because I was itching for something new, and I saw that the English dub of this was gonna come out, a few weeks ago. So I was like, you know what? I'll check it out. See if I like it or not. Whatever. I was kind of surprised how much I ended up liking it because at first I thought, okay, this may not be for me. I don't like the romantic side of it or anything like that. Like it just didn't seem like it was a show for me. But what hooked me was the angle of the main character trying to solve these medical mysteries to the point where it kind of feels like House. Yeah, you can compare it to House or Sherlock Holmes or whatever. And that angle of it did get me hooked. I like the idea of this one character that is fixated on poisons, fixated on like making drugs, and it's like, okay, this is actually kind of interesting to see how all this will play out, how she solves these medical mysteries and stuff like that. So that to me kind of got me hooked onto watching it. It focuses a character named Mao Mao who gets abducted and sold into this royal palace servitude shit. And one day she noticed that this courtesan was like, or concubine, one of the two. I fuck up these names, whatever. Was like falling sick or whatever, and she starts wondering like, I think maybe it's because of this one poisoning because this doesn't seem natural, whatever. So she goes in this whole thing, and through that she gets involved with all of these like royal medical matters. Like she starts getting involved in being a taste tester for a concubine or whatever. She tries to discover like, is this food poisoned, whatever, that kind of stuff, because she also has a high tolerance for poisons because she ate a lot of poisons growing up and all this kind of stuff. So the character of Mao is a far more interesting character than, let's say, House, because there's much more interesting stuff that makes her tick, and there's a lot of stuff that makes her a much more endearing character where she's not an asshole for the sake of it. Like, House is an asshole because, they see that he's depressed, he's going through all this stuff, so of course he's gonna be shady to everyone around him. But Mao is much more endearing as a character because it's not that she is an asshole just because she wants to, it's that it's in her own best interest for what situation she's in. She's in this servitude place, and she's like, yeah, if I look any cuter or whatever, they'll probably put me in a brothel. Don't want to do that. If I show that I can read and write, whatever. So she just kind of like tries to, stay under the radar, so she can't be taken advantage of or be exploited. So it's like, okay, this is actually a much more clever character that is much more interesting to sit through and watch. The one episode that made me like love the show a lot more, there was an episode where she gets told to, hey, this one concubine is sick. She's like in bed. She can't get out of bed. What's going on? Go there, take care of her, find out why she's like this, and try to make her feel better, whatever. And she does that, so she tries to give her soup. The servant's there, like, no, she likes to eat fucking shellfish, she likes eating lobster or whatever. Give her that. Don't give her fucking soup. What is she, a fucking pedestrian? No. And she's like, okay, these people don't know what the fuck they're doing. She needs soup because she can't digest, like, major meals. So it's like, okay, this is, like, interesting. But this one scene is a great scene. She finds out that it's the makeup that's making her sick, so she like walks up casually to this one servant. It's like, so what do you do here? What's your job here? Oh, I make her look pretty. I do the makeup. I do all this shit. And she's like, oh, okay. Slaps her, and then like grabs her by the hair, drags her over. It's like, oh, don't mind me just punching a fucking idiot. It's like, okay, this is like fucking rad, and tells her like, hey, it's the fucking powder. The powder has toxin in it, dumbass. And it's like, okay, this is like interesting to the point of like for a character to kind of go through this kind of brutal like honest moment. So I just love shit like that. I love characters that are just like this confident in their knowledge in something. There's that aspect of it. I love that she is so fascinated by poisons that she just fantasizes about eating poison. Like every time she's eating food, she's like, "Oh man, I hope there's a poison in this. Oh man, imagine they put this poison in." And it's like this is a characterization of Mao Mao that's far more interesting than just, oh, she's just an asshole. Like they added so many layers to this character that makes it much more endearing and much more fun to see. The only aspect of the Apothecary Diaries I don't give a fuck about is they kind of play with like romance in it. There's a lot of stuff like that which I don't give a fuck about. It's really just the medical stuff that I'm just far more into than anything else. It is animated by the same studio that did the My Hero Academia anime, so the quality is pretty good. The intro is nice. I like the intro music. I love the intro animation. They also do a lot of gags with chibi animation as well, so like that's pretty good. I usually am whatever with chibi. It's like yeah, whatever. But they do it in this that kind of makes it kind of funny, so it works. It works for me. Would I recommend the Apothecary Diaries? I'm only, I think, 6 episodes in, and that's the English dub. I think the sub is like 10 episodes or 9 episodes out. It's good. I do recommend it if you're into like medical mysteries and that kind of stuff. It is overall solid. There is a lot of like political themes going on as well. That's interesting as well. So it's not just oh she's just doing medical stuff and there's like this romance angle into it. There's also stuff that's going on that's like what? Why are they poisoning each other? Like oh there's like a rebellion going on. Like there's stuff that they kind of like give you little breadcrumbs to kind of follow. So it is interesting on that level too. So it's more than just like one thing, it's like a few things going on. So I do like it. The English dub has been pretty good. I don't know how the sub is. I've not watched it subbed. I've watched it dubbed. The dub is pretty good. The guy who voices one of the characters is the main voice actor for Like a Dragon. He plays Ichiban. I don't know the English voice actor's name, but he's one of my favorite ones. So it's like, hey, he's a great voice actor. They got the best guy to work on it. The dub is pretty good. I think overall the casting is. I don't think it has a lot of big names. I don't think, and I do kind of appreciate that because they actually have like people who are somewhat new to me, and it's like, oh, these people are actually doing a pretty good job. It's actually not like, uh, trash. But if you want to watch it sub, there is a sub. I don't know how the sub would compare, so watch it whichever way you want. It is solid. Right now, if you're asking me if what would I score it, I'd probably give it like I'd probably give it an 8 out of 10. That might be somewhat generous, but the fact that it kind of surprised me and how much I enjoyed it, that does give it some extra points because usually if I watch something and it exceeded an expectation or surprised me, I kind of like it more for that. If you can just subvert an expectation I have going in, then you've done something right. And again, I said this in the last anime club. I don't want shows to subvert for the sake of it. If you can subvert stuff in a meaningful way, but this is more of a subversion of like, oh, this is probably gonna be like a romance kind of story. But if you got me roped in because of other stuff that's going on, then you've done something right. Like the romance angle of it is probably fine. I don't really know how you would compare it because I don't really read a lot of romance novels or anything like that, so I don't know about that kind of shit. But the medical stuff, hey, that's interesting. I'm in it for that. So yeah, you can watch it if you want. It's on I think Crunchyroll. I will say that Crunchyroll was in a lawsuit recently that I think they lost, so they have to. So their settlement is like they're gonna. So you can sign up for the settlement or whatever, and you'll get like, I think they say $30, but it might be more. Because I think they're still uh finalizing what they owe, I guess. I don't know. I don't follow this fucking shit that much. I just know something's going on. So just keep that in mind if you don't want to fucking subscribe to Crunchyroll, but it is what it is. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you next time. What will be the next anime club? I don't know. This one will be a more sporadic one, I guess. I am kind of leaning to Demon Slayer because I have been reading that manga and I'm caught up on the anime too. So maybe that'll be the next one. So we'll see. I just want to do the Apothecary Diaries because I thought that no one really talks about that show. No one on my feed has been bringing it up. I've only saw it by happenstance. So there you go. Hope you enjoy this video. See you in the next one. Bye bye.